Sam Darnold sucked. The O-line sucked. Sam Darnold did a good job. People want to know about Sam Darnold. So I want to ask you, um, we'll start with this. If Brock Purdy went down sometime in the playoffs, after seeing him firsthand in person today, what is your confidence that the 49ers could win a Super Bowl with all of their other starters? So maybe not the O-line that we saw today, but with Sam Darnold. How did you feel about watching him? We talked about his arm talent, but that's a little bit potentially like he looks really good if he was doing a pro day, like maybe it makes sense that he went third overall because he can throw the ball really nice and really pretty, but he had some fumbles. How well did you think he did? What is your confidence in him compared to maybe the team with Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I'll say this in two different ways. Number one, talking about today, I I thought Sam Darnold played a hell of a game. I thought he was probably one of the main reasons the 49ers were in this because there were a couple of drop passes where the
Yeah,
49ers should have won this game.
yeah.
This was
Their
not on
backup
Sam
receivers
Darnold. I
were
don't care about the fumble at the end. Same way with the interception at the end of the Ravens game. I mean, it's a pretty bitter ending, and that's obviously going to leave a taste about Sam Darnold in your mouth. But I don't think he was at all the reason that he lost today. I thought he played pretty darn well. I thought he was accurate with the football. I thought he made good decisions. I thought he was able to escape the pocket a couple of times. I thought he had a good performance. Now, what's my confidence if he has to come in? Zero. I think I'd say that for any backup quarterback in the NFL. You don't win a Super Bowl with your backup quarterback. Hell, it's hard enough to win with your starter. I don't think the 49ers win in 2023. I've said that before with their starter in, and that's not a slight to Brock Purdy. With the backup in, I don't think I'd take any backup in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. If you're talking about my confidence, it would be zero regardless of who's the player. I think Darnold's played well, but I think it's just too tall a task to ask a backup quarterback to come in and play and try and win a Super Bowl.
okay. What is your confidence that they would win, like get to the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold?
I mean,
Like how? Okay, differences between Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy to you. How did you feel? And maybe it's not even fair because the supporting cast around him was so different. But how did you feel watching Sam Darnold run this offense compared to Brock Purdy?
I thought he played well. I thought he played well. Again, there are a lot of differences in this game compared to the previous. You're playing with backups. Sam Darnold played with a backup offensive line for half of the game. He played with backup weapons for half of the game. He played with backups. So this had more of the feel of a preseason game than it did of a regular season game. And so I don't think it's really fair to judge Sam Darnold's performance and how it would acclimate to a different level against tougher defenses because you're going to go up against, first teamers against, him going with the number one receivers, with the number one offensive line for the whole game, different things like that. There's a lot of things that are different. Now, there are distinct differences between Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. I've said this. I remember there was a stretch in the middle of the season where Purdy was struggling. 49ers are 5-3 going into their bye week. And I've even had my reservations about Purdy in terms of anointing him as a top 5, top 10 quarterback way too soon. But even at that point, I said, there's no way in hell you put in Sam Darnold for Brock Purdy. You've seen what Sam Darnold can do. And unfortunately, the issue is those turnovers are going to carry with him for the rest of his career. We've seen what Brock Purdy can do in this offense. Are there issues? Sure. But has the good outweighed the bad? Absolutely. There's a reason he's in the MVP conversation. There's a reason he's been able to do what he has to do. So that's why my point kind of stands. I think that the 49ers, they would feel much more confident if Brock Purdy was the one leading them to the Super Bowl. Can they make it? I have good faith. I think that they are the best team in the NFC. I just have reservations whether they can win it. Obviously, that might change if Sam Darnold's the one coming in, because you ultimately go from maybe having a top 3 quarterback in the conference to probably having the worst quarterback in the field going into the playoffs. And I think when it comes down to the playoffs, big plays and things like that, the most important position matters, and that's quarterback.
I felt like Sam Darnold, we did, and we've heard this about him before, kind of holding the ball a little bit longer. When I was writing my notes, like key differences that I saw between Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold, that is something that I wrote down more than a few times. Now, once again, is that because the receivers aren't getting as open as easily? Now they are backups and they were making drops, so they were also going against backup corners and stuff like that. But I did notice Sam Darnold kind of hesitating with the ball sometimes when I felt like just from watching the broadcast that there was someone open and maybe he wasn't making as quick and decisive decisions as Brock Purdy has made. Because I do think that throwing with anticipation and accuracy is something that Brock Purdy has shown really well. Now, obviously, Sam Darnold also did make some, in my opinion, really splash plays. Some of which were dropped and totally not on him. By the way, that number 2 guy for the Rams, he was like kind of smooth. He was the one that broke up a couple of those really good passes from Sam Darnold to one was to Conway. Who was the other one to? Was it Ronnie Bell? Maybe.
Ronnie Bell. Oh wait, no, the one that got dropped was McLeod.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I will say I saw what people were saying when they said that Sam Darnold can throw the ball well, but I didn't think that the game plan was, or that the game ran as smoothly with Sam Darnold under center. Now, I do understand maybe your hesitancy to like put that all on Sam Darnold because backup O line, vanilla game plan.